it's me, Bob. Now tonight I am going to try something new, and that is to get right to the freaking point. See if we can keep a little engagement here. I'm going to do what I said in the description that I'm going to do, and then we can goof off. Alright, so for those of you who follow the Bob Doyle Show, or a Bob Doyle Show, which I didn't change that like I said I was going to, and know of my obsession with all things faces, changing faces, using apps to change faces, create new faces, it just goes on and on. But generally the end result is I'm going to animate faces and I'm going to post them on Instagram and think I'm hilarious. That's basically the workflow. So I've been using a handful of products, apps to do that over the course of time. The one I used first, which I'd love to have been able to compare here, but I'm already asking my phone to do a lot just comparing these two right here, is Mug Life, and I will eventually do, I think when we do the real Bob Doyle Show, when we get it launching again, the tech segment will be a little bit more produced, a little bit more, you know, again, succinct and to the point. But Mug Life was an app that took an image and kind of automatically knew where your features were, and then you could move your mouth and it would do the animation. I enjoyed making those animations because you could do it with atypical faces. I have the ability to, if a creature has an eye over here and an eye over here, I can do that and blink and it'll work. That's the only app of any of these that I use that will actually do that. So right now, the flexibility of the faces is Mug Life's strongest point now, because the reason I'm making this video is because my go-to favorite has been Avatarify, and I still lean towards liking that. I feel I'm a beta tester, so I feel like I have a vested interest. But this other app that I featured on the Bob Doyle Show before, called Xpression, had an update recently, and it had me revisit it. And honestly, I don't know if some of the cool stuff I'm going to show you is just in the update or it's been there for a while, one particular feature. But I'm going to show you these two things. I want you to, you know, I just am interested in what your opinion is in terms of which one you like. Now, again, they both have strong points. Let's say hello to those who've walked in. Hey, Cher, Jane, and Kathy. The usual crowd rushes in. So let's start with Avatarify. Just as a quick reminder, actually I'll show you the full app. Just as a reminder, Avatarify takes images, faces that, you know, from your photo library or the camera you take or whatever, download, and then once you can choose any face and then line these lines up with your, hold on, let me do it when I'm not talking. Okay, so now I'm taking over the face. Now one of the other caveats here is that when I am streaming from my phone to my computer to demonstrate this, it affects the frame rate. It's not as, normally it's a little smoother than this. But what I like about Avatarify is I think there is a great fluidity in the expression. When I move my eyeballs around, it knows that even when I'm wearing glasses. I can, you know, do my eyebrows, I can move my head a good bit. Now it starts to distort, but I can twist it a good bit before it, you know, vanishes like that. And it also handles the backgrounds well. If I choose another person, you can see there's sort of a I don't know, a textured background right there, and it actually adjusts for that. It's not stretching the background too terribly much when I move the head. Now this is another one where, you know, I think this is a good example. This was a face I created using Artbreeder, which I've talked about in other live streams. But I like this, but one of the downsides about this Avatarify is I cannot stick my tongue out. Now that's not in and of itself a big deal, but some of the things that make speech realistic looking is when you say L or a TH word, thank you, you see the tongue. And here you don't see the tongue. And so there's just a little something that's off about it. Now obviously this is a piece of art, a sort of a stylized photograph, more of an art style. So, you know, it's not about necessarily looking realistic. But now let me show you this same picture in the Expressions app. Let me just change to it. And then I'll give you a little bit deeper demonstration of this. Let's find that picture. Hold on a second while I do this. I know it's around here somewhere. I had it up there. Okay, here. So same image. Now, you can't tell so much on this one, but the background stretches. There's not as much ability to move the head. Let me actually resync that so with my glasses off. Now it takes this second and it locks in, But again, I can move my eyes around, but it's not quite, think I like the eye movement a little bit more on Avatarify. I just can't see without these things. But here's the key. Look at my mouth. That's my tongue. Those are my teeth. It's actually using my mouth. Now that's an option that I can turn off. And if I do, it still has a mouth with teeth in it, but again, I can't really stick out my tongue. Now in some cases, this mouth works better than using my real mouth, depending on the angle. See if I can find an example. I may not be able to quickly find one, but you see all these sample faces I made. Let's try this one real quick. Okay, so that's the sample mouth. Let me put my mouth on there. Oh, this isn't a really good example because this actually looks okay. But in some cases, like if I move my face, you can see it sort of tears because it's actually filming my mouth, it's going to rip. And if I put my fingers here, you'll see them, right? But, the other thing about Xpression is it crashes. Like it just did. So I'm reloading it. And that is, I'm sure they'll work on that. Crashes happen. But let me show you a couple of other really cool things about Xpression that is unique to Xpression. Now Xpression not only will do this with still photographs, but it will do it with videos. So they have some examples here of just all of these images and videos came with the app. So they have a video of a newscaster just reading the news. Now, but it's locked on my mouth, not what the newscaster's saying. So, 4 puppies named Cliff were sold today for some reason. I don't know why, they just couldn't come up with a better name. Even though Cliff is like, the big Clifford, the big red dog, which seems obvious. Dog wasn't red, wasn't big. It was a puppy. It was white, actually. That's about all the news I have today. Right? So that's a cool feature that it does that the others don't. Another example. So there were 20 of you. Oh, it didn't lock in. It's interesting. It does take a second to lock onto the voice, but then, and again, the quality varies here. Now this is using my real mouth. Let me switch it to their stock mouth, if you will. And in that case, see, I think it works a little bit better. It's not as dependent. I don't need to show my tongue, but this looks pretty realistic. If this were just a video of this guy, I could you get the idea. It works pretty well. What do you think of that? Hey, Dan. Hey, Dan! Okay, so what's the use application for the faces? For me, Dan, it's just about being creative. If you go to my Instagram channel, Instagram.com/BobDoyleShow, you'll see that I am obsessed with I do voiceover work. So putting voices to these characters that I create with these apps it's just what I do on Instagram. And it's also like this running voiceover demo, I guess. So, but it's just fun for me to use all these different programs to create these faces. But I'm always looking for the next AI something or other. And I had been playing with this app before. This is not the first time I've loaded up Xpression. But I got the little update notice, and it said something like significant improvements, and I was like, oh, let's go check it out. And they have made significant improvements. It also has a search engine in it, for if you want to look for celebrities and all that stuff. It says it will find celebrity videos. I have yet to have it pull up a video to replace, but plenty of photos. You just choose one, search for what. I'm not gonna do it. But then anything on your phone, including videos. But I'm using it basically for the faces. And I prefer using my mouth. Because even though sometimes the females look like they have a little bit of a mustache, I just think that the realism, because it is actually my mouth moving, so it's gonna, and again, it's not about that I'm gonna stick out and that looks kind of freakish right there. Let's try a different one. Okay, so if I just talk normal now, the eyes look a little closed like that because when I do this with my glasses, sometimes it just doesn't calibrate right. Like my eyes are kind of not open right, so it affects it. But I'm really looking at the mouth right now because I know that the eyes will work and all of that. There's no fault in the app there. I'm really comparing the head movement, which again with Xpression, the whole it's hard to tell. Let me see if I can find one with a background. Here we go. Now this is actually a video. So this, you can kind of see that the video is moving a little bit, but my mouth is doing the talking right there. But the point is, around the head, you can see the leaves and things like that pulling and stretching, and Avatarify does a much better job of making sure that doesn't happen. Let me see if I can just quickly find that picture in Avatarify. I know I've got it in here somewhere. I'm just scrolling. I've got so many in here. It's ridiculous. Bear with me. Well, you know what? It won't go back that far. Anyway, the point is it does a better job of handling the background. So I was just curious because I'm torn. To me, they're both great, and I'm using them both over on Instagram, and I'm doing my shtick over there. But again, the other thing is that I don't think Xpression does it either. Hold on, I'm going to check with the voices. Yes, it doesn't change the voice. The only one that changes the voice is Mug Life, which we haven't shown here today. It's just so crazy to... again, this is a video I already made, so I'm talking on top of a video. So there's a little movement that doesn't need to be there. But anyway, yeah, it's an obsession. But it's purely just, it's two things, Dan, if you're still there. It's just creative, and it's AI, which is an interest of mine, in particularly in the creation of creative things. So the first and third one, Xpression share says. I don't know what that means. But I mean, I'm guessing you say you like Xpression, but the first and third one, I don't remember if you're talking about the pictures you showed. But anyway, so again, the apps are Xpression, Xpression, and Avatarify, both on the iPhone. I don't know that there are Android versions for them or not. But anyway, that was just a quick share. I just wanted to jump on, show those differences, because I thought they were currently cool, throwing it out there, just seeing what kind of opinions I can get on it from those who see this live or the replay. I'm going to go now, because I've just been here forever, like 5 minutes it feels like. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. And if you have the ability to go download those apps and play with them, do it. It's fun.